what if we could apply hardcore Neo-Pythagorean and Platonic retroductive logic to ancient riddles? How far could we go? Why didn't they teach this stuff? And I've already made like an introduction. Introduction to retroduction. That doesn't sound right. But I have that in introductory video on retroduction. I remember like growing up and hearing all these unsolvable riddles. What if we were to apply just for 5 seconds, just about like 5 brain cells to ancient riddles? That's like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? What is the answer to which came first, the chicken or the egg? Let's think about it. The egg, well, let's just apply retroduction and Platonic logic. And this is so helpful. I mean, every day, Platonic retroduction and Platonic thinking methodologies, which should have been taught to every school child. You know, back in the day, the Renaissance and the 12th, 13th, 14th, the rich people, what they do is they'd get a Platonic education. People thought, oh, the rich people are so much better than us poor peasants. This thought prevailed for a long time. Let's go to the chicken or egg analogy and apply Platonic retroduction to that. For many centuries in England and Europe, the poor people was like, oh, they're much better than us, they got better breeding, better, the governor, or the gov. I think that's what they say in England today. Hey, gov, them rich people's got better breeding than us, it's much smarter. That's not the case. The rich people would get classical education, and by today, there are no classical educations anymore. You can go to Princeton and Harvard, and it's like, yeah, you can study the classics. It's like, yeah, you can go to a class in Harvard, and then they'll teach you to, go read Plato, and we're going to have a multiple guess test. It's like, well, isn't this a prestigious college? You are not teaching any of these people that paid a tremendous amount of money to get a higher education how to think. College spits out a lot of really well-trained idiots. Man, it's like, unless you're going to college to become a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, you're pissing your time away, and doctors are the second leading cause of death. So, and I knew this to be the case without doctors telling me this. Man, a halfway intelligent doctor will tell you, no, you don't have to be smart at all to become a doctor. All you do is need a lot of caffeine pills and have a good ability to memorize crap. Isn't that amazing that people that operate on people and they're like killing people left and right, doctors, the only reason why they're a doctor, and by the way, most lawyers become lawyers, and by their own admission, to help people, but most doctors become doctors to make money. You think it'd be the other way around. It's like lawyers want to become lawyers to make money, but no. Doctors want to become doctors, the vast majority of them do, to make money. The reason why they're doctors is because they have a really good ability to memorize stuff. You don't get a classical education anymore. You can go to Harvard, Princeton, Yale, none of these places, most prestigious. No, you're not going to learn a damn thing. Do they teach you how to think? The most important thing in the world is learning how to think. Being able to have spontaneous synthesis of problem-solving methodology and the wherewithal to be a individual thing, instead of like an idiot, it's like watching TV, like the news channels, whichever one. Yeah, okay. There's so many stupid people these days. Nobody was taught about logical fallacies like straw man fallacies and bandwagon fallacies. You don't learn about that stuff. Well, actually, some colleges actually do teach about fallacies in logic class. Take an elementary course in logic. But they still don't teach you how to think. What they do is they tell you to go home and read this crap, and then we're going to have a test. Multiple guess test. Retroductive logic. The reason why for countless centuries in Europe and England, the po folk thought that, it's better breeding, Collectively they thought that that's the reason why they're smarter. No, it's because they got a classical education in Aristotelian Platonic logic. They were reading stuff like the Periphesion by Erigena. Have you ever tried to read the work, the Periphesion? You can see either the English translation or the original Latin. The Periphesion. You ever tried to read Plotinus? I dare you to read 10 pages of Plotinus. I dare you. It will bend your mind, and not in a bad way. I dare you to read Plotinus. And it's so much better in the original ancient Greek, which is extremely complex. Oh my God. Extremely. Did you know that basically 100% of Christian mysticism, like if you go in the Vatican vaults, you get down in the nitty-gritty, all of that stuff were Christian mystics where they were reading ancient Platonic, Neoplatonic, Neo-Pythagorean, hardcore monistic metaphysics on monism, on the agathon, prohodos, epistrophe. Translate those ancient Greek terms, girlfriend. 100% of the stuff that people think is so amazing in the three major religions is stolen from Neoplatonism and Neopythagoreanism. Some of it obviously from the Egyptians for obvious reasons, but I mean, I have this stuff. All the really hardcore St. Augustine, Erigena, the Puriphesian, all of that stuff is just rehashed thinkings and musings on Neoplatonism. So let's actually just take 5 brain cells in 5 seconds to, problem solving. It's so incredibly important for problem solving. Nobody has any idea. I mean, I use it every day. Nearly, there's not like 5 hours that don't go by that I don't actually apply it. Like a chicken or egg scenario, of course, which is, just nothing but only which came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, egg came first, obviously, since there was something that was not a chicken that laid an egg that was genetically a chicken. So if we use Platonic logic to solve an ancient riddle which seemingly has no answer, ultimately it is undeniable that a non-chicken laid a genetically mutated egg that was technically genetically a chicken. So the answer to the riddle, which came first, the chicken or the egg, the answer is the egg, according to Platonic logic. So yeah, there's the answer to that one. There's a mystery. There's the riddle that's existed for many hundreds of. Which came first, Gov? The chicken or the egg? That's the unsolvable question. No, it's actually easily solvable. That was just something to make you laugh. Obviously, I don't apply. I don't apply Platonic retroduction to solving stuff like this. I apply it to understanding what is magnetism, what defines, field incommensurability, the nature of magnetism. And you've gone so deep down the rabbit hole that, come to the realization that all this stupid crap humans have believed for thousands of years, magnetic attraction does not exist. The phenomena people call magnetic attraction has nothing to do with magnetism. Oh my God, really? Yes. A magnet doesn't have poles. Well, what do you mean it doesn't have poles? Well, if it had a poles, then it would have a Cartesian value and a locus, a demonstrable locus that was Cartesian. And then it would be locatable, it would be separable. But it's not. It's incommensurable. If you look up incommensurable in Google, you won't find the answer. You'll just get some sort of bullshit answer in some sort of obscure dictionary. I'm talking about the real original answer. The ancient Greek. That term, this is stuff if back in the, I think it started around the 11th century, and it waned off around the 14th or 15th century. When you got a classical education, you got a toolbox that was placed into your brain. Well, I mean, the master. We're talking about like Yoda and the Jedi here. You got a mental toolbox that was placed in your brain that taught you how to problem solve everything. That is so invaluable. You know what you get today in college? If you go to a prestigious college, they tell you to go home and read a bunch of shit, memorize it, and come back, and they're going to take a multiple guess test and see how you scored on that test. That is not helpful once you leave college. It is not helpful at all. The toolbox of thinking, the thinking methodology, the mechanismo that's actually placed into the brain that is the methodology of this retroduction and Platonic logic is useful for absolutely everything. It identifies motives in other people. It identifies scammers, because everybody's got a freaking motive. There's like a handful of people on this earth that don't have a motive when they do something. Everybody else got a motive. You could decipher everyone and you could decipher everything. Not necessarily instantly. Depends on how well your skills are honed, but very, very quickly. That is so, I mean, I would make a really good teacher. However, my patience, I would not make a good teacher because my patience is about that short. And also, too, kids today are just horrible. Kids today have no boundaries. I mean, they're just pathetic. You know, they should return to corporal punishment. You know, back in the day, they'd whip your ass. Like, even the principal of the school. I mean, they'd take you down to the principal and he'd whip out the wooden paddle and he would beat your ass. That never happened to me because I was a good kid. However, I did always disagree with the teachers because I was much smarter than them. But I mean, they would beat your ass. And today, oh my God, it's child abuse. Now you just got a bunch of spoiled brat dumbasses sitting there texting on their phone while the teacher's talking, and they're like chewing their gum and counting the holes in the ceilings, and they're going like, whatever, shut the fuck up, teacher. Oh my God. They're texting each other. Degenerate scum. These kids don't learn anything. I mean, even kids back in my day didn't learn anything. Well, you go home and memorize this shit. We're going to have a test on it tomorrow. They should have been teaching you how to learn and think for yourself. They should have been placing toolboxes, proverbially speaking, into kids' heads, but they didn't. Because the teachers themselves were taught crap and the same stuff. Memorize this stuff. That's how doctors become doctors. They don't have this. Many of them don't have the skills and the wherewithal to diagnose people. They're taught how to memorize crap. You know, if I were to go to a doctor and say, I'm fat because, you know, I don't get enough exercise, obviously I should eat less, exercise more, eat better. I eat pretty good, but I mean, a doctor today would be so stupid. Like, oh, we're going to put you on this pill and that pill, and, you know, a real doctor would say, dude, you're fat, you need to exercise a lot more, and you need to start eating tons more veggies. We know you like veggies. Like, yeah, you're right. Not going to give you a pill because you don't need a damn pill. I used to be super skinny, by the way. I know how to lose weight. But I choose not to, you know. I do what I do. I mean, that's what a real doctor would do. But I mean, like 99% of doctors I would go to, like, yeah, we'll put you on this pill and that pill. This pill will make your pecker turn blue, and this pill will give you, like, maybe a stroke, and this pill might, like, make your heart stop, you know. Instead of, like, a real doctor. What a Hippocratic oath about doing no harm. A real doctor would be like, dude, you're fat because you eat too much, you don't get enough exercise, get out in some sun, exercise, start eating greens, no more pizza, no more burgers, no more diet soda, you fat, bald, tattooed asshole. I'd be like, yep. That's pretty harsh advice, but it's totally accurate. Thank you, doctor. Mic drop. If you like these videos, please click the link below because I'm not a shill and a schmuck like everybody else selling stuff, and any small donation is greatly appreciated, and oh, God almighty, I really do mean that. Thank you. This was like a halfway funny video on Platonic Retroduction. Thank you. Bye.